What exactly do you mean by that?
Well, if your daughter's going to be in here for some
You're
time...
sick. You know that, don't you? Tracy will not be in here for some time. When she walks out of that court, she'll be free to go home.
Not according to the police.
Go home and live a normal life with normal people.
Oh, good. She may enjoy the change. She obviously hasn't told you about her little friend in here.
If Tracy's got a friend, I'm very happy. She needs one. She needs all the friendship she can get.
Even from a lesbian? Yes, Mr. Morris. The most notorious lesbian in this prison.
What are you suggesting?
I'm not suggesting anything. I saw them in each other's arms, Mr. Morris. So if you think I'm sick, what would you call your daughter?
Oh, he's a nice enough young fella, I suppose. But I didn't like him in that Sting picture.
Why? What's wrong with it?
Well, it was stupid. They was all getting shot dead and getting up and walking away. Well, what was all that about?
It was about the goodies getting the baddies. Where'd you say White was?
Leave Tracy Morris alone.
Man on the phone.
I'm glad you remembered, Miss Bennett. It's a pity you didn't remember about Tracy. Maybe this'll help you remember.
Anyhow, Robert Redford and Paul Newman in the Sting. They rig this bet so that they can't lose.
Yeah?
Would you keep an eye for Kate, please?
See, they're small-timers. They're broke.
Robert Redford, he was the real brains.
Oh, Paul Newman was.
Oh, what?
I've seen the film 3 times.
Girls, I'm trying to make a point here. I'm trying to tell you we can do the same thing, a sting.
What's a sting?
It's a trick.
It's a rip-off.
Same diff.
No.
Will you shut up, please, and just listen to me? We can do the same thing. All we have to do is get the race results from a race, right? Fix the newspaper so that it looks as though the race is being held the next day.
How you can do that?
Well, we get a country meeting, you know, one Kay won't know much about. Then we fix the newspapers, place a big bet. She's finished.
Oh, sounds great.
I saw it 3 times as well, and Robert Redford was the real brains.
You ever give up
Fancy
on
not
Robert
liking
Redford?
Robert Redford.
I didn't say that. I just prefer Paul Newman.
Anyone interested in placing a bet for tomorrow's race?
No, thanks.
My kind of odds you won't get from anyone else. Tracy, you'd like to place a bet for tomorrow?
I don't bet.
Could be fun.
Time to turn in.
Righto, ladies, come along, move it.
What about you, Mrs. Jackson? Who do you prefer, Robert Redford or Paul Newman?
Well, that'd depend on who to ask first. Hurry up, ladies.
What's all this Robert Redford, Paul Newman nonsense?
Just talking about a movie.
What's up, love?
Nothing.
Oh, come on.
What would you care?
Of course I care. You're the best friend I got in here.
That's why you're spending all your time with Judy, I suppose.
Come on, Dor, that's business. You know that.
Yeah, sure.
Hey, do you remember when we were on the outside and we went to that bar place and we was eyeing off all them blokes?
Yeah, and you got so drunk you fell down on the floor.
I did not.
You did.
Oh, I might have tasted a drop or 2 in me time, but I've never been a falling down drunk. I may not be a lady, but I've still got me self-respect.
You all right, Doreen? Well, I'll see you all tomorrow. Good night.
Good night, Mrs. J.
Waste of time tidying yourself up in here. No men around, except Jim Fletcher. And he's not worth worrying about.
Gotta keep in practice. I get out of here in 3 weeks, so look out, world.
Well, while you're waiting, why not place a bet? I'm offering much better odds than Margot.
You didn't waste much time taking over, did you?
Why should I? Better me than anybody else. And as I said, I'm offering much better odds.
As you said. How much better?
Enough to make the women bet with me. Now, are you interested?
I might be. Oh. Kay, I've been looking all over for you. I've had a terrific day. Look.
Well done. 2, 3, 5. There you are. That's yours. Keep this up. And you'll get yourself a nice little nest egg. Business is looking up. Now, are you interested or not?
Is it serious? Yes. I see. I'll tell Mrs. Davidson. Thank you. That was the local hospital. It's Vera. She was attacked last night.
She all right?
Mainly bruises and shock.
What happened, did they say?
The neighbour found her unconscious.
Well, who did it?
They didn't say.
Oh, poor Vera.
They said they didn't think she'd be back at work for a couple of days.
I'll drop in and see her later.
But won't you be on overtime? I mean, we're short-staffed already.
Oh, I'll make time somehow.
Morning. I came over as soon as I heard it.
You needn't have bothered.
Yeah. Well, how are you? Look, we've got him on the run, obviously, and I will put in a good word with Mrs. Davidson.
Oh, I'd rather you didn't.
It's in the line of duty. You've done a good job. I'm grateful, and I'm sure she will be. Last night, can you tell me what happened?
I've already made a statement.
Yes, I know. I've read it, but there might be some small detail.
There was a man waiting. It was dark. He said I hadn't been very good at getting the message. Then he hit me.
Anything on the voice?
No,
How tall was he?
I didn't see.
You have an accent.
No, he was Australian.
Oh, well, that's something. What happened then?
Well, the next thing I remember, I was lying on the ground and my neighbour was kneeling over me.
The one that brought you in here last night?
Yes.
Well, he may have seen someone hanging around.
He didn't. I've already asked him.
Look, Miss Bennett, these assailants...
There was only one.
They seem to know what's going on at Wentworth.
It's obvious. It's either Morris or someone else passing information.
We've had Bob Morris under surveillance.
Oh, he'd know he was being watched.
Perhaps. You've done very valuable work for us. And I want you to tell Tracy Morris it's not getting her anywhere.
I beg your pardon?
We'll keep you under protection.
Oh, like you did last night.
Look, there's a lot swinging on this for me and you.
Catching criminals is your job. I've done all I can.
Sorry you feel that way.
Look, Inspector, I've risked being reported. I've been turned into a punching bag. I've had enough. You don't give a damn, do you?
Sorry.
So Butch and Sundance are trapped, see, on this cliff, and there's this river down below. And Robert Redford says we're going to have to jump.
That was Paul Newman.
It was Robert Redford. Robert Redford was Sundance, remember?
Yeah, and it was him that was scared to jump.
Oh, will you can it, girls, please? We're going to have to sort out this sting thing before Kay and Doreen get back for more sheets, huh?
Well, how you gonna do that?
Well, I made a phone call this morning. Old friend of Sharon's, Billy Dawson. Races and greyhounds.
Hey, dogs. Maybe Kay won't know so much about them.
Yeah, well, hopefully. Anyway, there's a country race meeting on tonight, and the list will be in this afternoon's papers.
So what are you gonna do?
You, my dear, are going to get hold of a newspaper. And then we are going to take that part of it out of the racing section.
But what if Kay finds out it's missing?
Well, we'll just say the screw snitched it.
Smart. And then we switch it into tomorrow's paper.
But there'll be a date on it.
Haven't you ever heard of a newspaper being damaged in production?
We'll just snip the corner off. She won't notice the difference.
Right. But we do have a problem.
What's that?
The radio. See, Kay might accidentally hear that broadcast.
So we have to get the screws to take them off it.
Oh, what loss of privileges?
Well, it's the only way, Hazel.
Yeah, we've got to finish that Kay off once and forever.
How long for?
It's only a couple of days. But listen, it gets better. You see, Tracy has a radio with a cassette recorder on it. Now, she won't lose her privileges because she's on remand. We'll get Tracy to record the race meeting tonight. Tomorrow, we play it back to Kay as though it were on the radio.
Oh, that's brilliant! I hope I can stop myself from laughing.
You better. Yeah, she can get pretty violent, you know.
What do you reckon, I'm stupid or something?
Line of violence, including an attack on a senior prison officer. The prison officer, Miss Vera Bennett, was attacked outside her home by an unknown assailant. She is in hospital where her condition is reported as satisfactory. Police have not yet established a motive for the attack. In another incident last...
Vera!
Oh, I could give him a motive.
I could give him a dozen.
Probably some black took her out and then she wouldn't let him in for a drink.
More likely she forced him in.
What are you smiling at? Kathleen knows something, eh?
No, I was just thinking it was about time she got hers, eh?
That's for sure.
Who got hers? Vera. She got thumped last night. She's in hospital.
Who thumped her?
Well, the police haven't said.
Well, I'm not surprised. She had it coming the way she's been riding poor Tracy.
Anyway, let's get back to work.
Yeah, I'll get rid of these.
That the flood of refugees
Did you hear the news?
About Miss Bennett.
Told you you'd be looked after.
That'll only make things worse when she gets back. And if she does, she's going to get more of the same. Oh, nobody wants to be a hero. Now, trust me.
I wish I could see Joe.
You will soon.
If only he'd come and see me.
And that would put the cops straight onto him.
I should never have got involved in this. He should have told me that it wasn't gold.
Well, maybe he didn't want to upset you. I know you miss him, and he knows too.
Well, how long till I can see him?
Not much longer. As long as you do what you're told. Now, he's looking after you like he promised. Just make sure you keep your mouth shut.
How's it going?
Oh, I'm just keeping up with the visitors. I don't know how Paul Reed managed to find the time to do anything else.
Well, with a bit of luck, they'll find us a new social worker. But not like Agnes, I hope.
Morning, Meg.
Good God, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm on duty in 10 minutes.
Nonsense. You should be home in bed.
I'm all right.
You're not all right. One look at you's enough.
And let them think they got away with it?
Who?
Morris and her protectors. Well, the police are useless, Meg. But it takes more than this to intimidate me.
Yes.
Oh, Mrs. Davidson, it's Meg here. Vera's just arrived for work. I thought you should know.
How is she?
Well, she looks terrible. I don't think she should be here.
Would you ask her to come to my office right away, please, Meg?
Sure.
Hi. You busy?
No, I'm just writing a letter. Come in.
Oh, I can come back later.
No, please.
Good. So, how you finding it?
Depressing.
Yeah, this place gets you like that. Thing for you to remember, though, Tracy, is that you're not on your own.
I am in a way.
You needn't be.
It's all such a mess. You heard about Miss Bennett?
Yeah.
Well, that was because of me. She was putting the pressure on and she was told to lay off.
Who by? Come on, honey, you can tell me.
No, I can't.
Well, I won't say anything.
No, I said.
Okay, drop it.
Did you want something?
Well, yeah, sort of. I'd like to borrow your cassette recorder. You know, that race that we were talking about last night, we're going to record it.
Sure.
The only thing is Kay mustn't find out, so you'll have to hide the cassette.
Yeah, okay, I will. Look, I'm sorry about just now.
Oh, that doesn't matter.
It's just there's someone I want to see so much, and I can't. Sometimes it really gets to me.
Yeah, I know. I had someone I really cared about once. She died. It was funny, you know, I used to lie in bed at night and I'd have long conversations with her inside my head, you know. Ones that we'd had. Ones I'd wished we'd had. I haven't felt that way about anyone since. But with you, I kind of do.
I know what you mean. I'll get the radio.
Hang on, no. Why don't I come back here tonight and we can do it and then just talk some more?
Great.
See you then.
See ya.
Bye.
Come in.
You wanted to see me, Mrs. Davidson?
How are you, Vera?
I'm all right, thank you.
I received your message. It must have been a very nasty experience.
I'll get over it.
Oh, sit down.
I'd prefer to stand, actually.
Have you any idea why this happened?
Of course. Inspector Grace asked me to keep a close eye on Morris, just in case she let anything slip. Well, the man said to lay off, and then he hit me.
Well, the inspector said nothing to me.
Well, that's not surprising.
Did he expect you to apply pressure?
He didn't care. I told him I'd only apply the rules, nothing more.
Well, I shall certainly have a word with Inspector Grace.
He said this was a very important case, and he'd put a word in with the department.
Believe me, Vera, you will not suffer with the department. But Inspector Grace will know my views. I think you should rest for a few days.
Look, I'd prefer to work, Mrs. Davidson.
Vera, you have been through a very frightening experience. It won't help anyone if you collapse.
Look, I'm perfectly all right, really. Well, yes, it was a shock, and I'll take things quietly. But it'd be much worse stuck at home just thinking about it. And I think it's important that the prisoners don't get the idea they can control us by having someone on the outside bash an officer.
What did the doctor say?
He said it was up to me. Look, I'll keep to light duties. Please, Mrs. Davidson.
Very well, but don't overdo it.
Lizzie, you're supposed to be in the laundry.
I was waiting for you, Mrs. J.
Well, what do you want?
Well, I know you're such a good sport.
Oh, now, forget the soft soap.
Well, you see, last night in the rec room, I was doing this crossword puzzle, you see, and we got into a big argument about a word.
Lizzie, will you get to the point?
Well, I want to look in today's paper to find out if I was right, you know, before I mention it.
Well, which paper?
Oh, there were two. I did them both. Could I deliver the papers for you? Save yourself time, eh?
What's happened to our papers?
Oh, the delivery's probably late.
Yeah, typical of this bloody place.
Extra! Read all about it!
One, will you?
Oh, that's gratitude for you. Want a paper, Jude?
Yeah, thanks.
Where's the racing page?
I don't know. Mrs. Jackson just asked me to deliver it.
Yeah, mine's not in here either. The screws must have pinched it.
Well, these papers are supposed to be ours.
Yeah, that's after the screws finish chopping them up.
Oh, just like their bloody hide.
As soon as the screw comes, right?
Pity Vera isn't here if we want to lose privileges.
Be right.
Oh!
Speak of the devil.
Oh, what happened to your face, Miss Bennett?
Walk into a door.
Oh, that's a real beauty.
Just watch it, all of you.
That's crap.
Leave it where it was.
We watched that last night.
Just stop it, the pair of you.
Cut it out.
You started it.
That's where we're supposed to be having it.
Look, that's
Says
enough
who?
of that. Now you'll watch nothing.
They won't take it out on us.
I'm warning you, Bryant.
You didn't stop there.
You shut up! Will you stop that? Shut up! This little episode has cost you television and radio privileges.
Oh, Miss.
And if there's any more, there'll be a few of you in the pound.
Cool.
No TV, no radio, no racing page. How am I supposed to run a bloody book?
Tough lump, huh?
Six. All right. Who wants a bet?
What's on?
These two.
Us? What are we going to bet on?
Dominoes. Best of three. Anyone interested?
What price?
Evens.
Oh, I've only got 30 cents.
That'll do. Lizzie?
I'll have 50 cents on, 50 cents on Hazel.
Good on you, Kathleen.
50 cents on a robin.
All right.
Okay. We'll start again.
Hey, what's everybody ignoring me for?
They're not, love.
Of course they are, except Kay when she wants to get heavy.
She'll get hers, don't you worry.
Yeah, well, why wasn't I asked to help?
'Cause you weren't needed, love.
See, that's what I mean. Nobody gives a damn about me.
Charlie's uncle is out in front, followed by Black Sombrero and Royal Roger. At the head of the others is Margot's Lad, followed by Gypsy Princess, Daisy Chain and Gay Abandon. It's Charlie's uncle still in front, with Royal Roger challenging now. It's going to be close, but as they go to the line, Royal Roger gets his head in front. It's Royal Roger from Charlie's uncle with Black Sombrero third. Then Margot's Lad, Daisy Chain, Gypsy Princess and Gay Abandon.
That does it. Okay, I think you better hide that away somewhere nice and safe. And we better check the time, too, just to make sure we know what we're talking about.
Isn't this a lot of trouble just to prove a point?
Not when the point is who's running this place. Kay has made it hard for everybody.
Hey, she's got a tranny.
I wouldn't worry about that. We've had loss of radio and TV privileges. You're okay because you're on remand.
You're terrific, you know, the way you plan and get things organized. Just like Joe.
Well, you're pretty terrific yourself.
Joe thinks I'm stupid at times.
He doesn't know what he has. You know, You remind me of Sharon, my friend Sharon, before she changed, of course.
What was she like before she changed?
Gentle. Sort of confused.
I'm sorry. Didn't realize. I suppose I should have.
Well, it's up to you.
Will we still be friends if I...
Sure. I just want you to know I care for you a lot. Well, I'll go. See you at breakfast, huh?
See you.
You a new girlfriend?
What?
Did she put the hard word on you?
No.
Don't tell bloody lies. You think you're something special, don't you? Everybody making a fuss of you. And your rich daddy's gonna get you off. What's in here?
It's personal. Don't touch that. It's my mother's.
You're lucky to have had one.
Would you please go?
I didn't thump you or anything, did I? Didn't damage anything? You know, you're lucky bees in solitary. You know what killed her daughter? Drugs. And you know, when she gets out, your life's not going to be worth living.
Morning.
Morning, Meg.
Vera, what are you still doing here?
There was work to be done.
Oh? Anything much happen?
It's all in the night report. Could be a problem with Bryant and her crew. She seems to be taking over from Smith. I put them all on a week's loss of privileges.
Well, what happened?
They were fighting over the television set.
That's a bit severe, isn't it?
I'm quite capable of judging the situation.
But they're always fighting over the TV set.
This was a brawl. If they're going to behave like animals, they'll be treated like them.
There are regulations, Miss Bennett, which govern how the prisoners will be treated.
And that's exactly how I treat them, Mrs. Davidson. It's only people like Morris who can abuse the system and get away with it.
Then what we do is we get Lizzie to put yesterday's pages into today's newspaper.
Have you got rid of the date?
Just like you get them from the newsagent.
Well, Royal Roger's good odds. Now, none of you girls are to bet. That way she won't have any kitty to bail her out.
Yeah, but won't she be a bit suspicious? I mean, after last time.
That girl is too greedy, dear. And I am going to bet everything I've won.
Oh!
Well, tell me to piss off, why don't you?
Oh, what's up, love?
What's up, love? None of you give a bugger about me. Well, I'll tell you something. I don't give a bugger about any of you either. In fact, I hate the lot of you.
Look, Danny, really, you shouldn't have bothered.
I know. And don't let your eggs get cold.
Oh, terribly sorry. Where are yours?
Oh, they're coming.
Well, you don't want to be late for school.
Yeah, well, the eggs took longer than I thought.
Do you think that'll impress your teacher?
Him? Oh, I've cooked breakfast for Mum before.
Thought you must have learned from somewhere.
Yeah. Well, Aunt Sheila wouldn't let me. The old bitch.
Hey, I think that's enough of that, don't you?
Yeah, sorry. Forgot. Well, you know Mum getting in jail.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she wouldn't have. She just needed a bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she won't need any now, though.
How come?
Well, I'm getting it for her.
Yeah, well, as long as you're getting it legally. Hey, look, how'd you like to come shopping with me today at lunchtime?
Well, sure. What for?
Well, I'd like to buy you a few things.
What?
Oh, you know, bits and pieces.
Why?
So you'll look nice when you go and visit your mother.
Okay.
Good.
Mrs. Jackson, I'd like to see my daughter, please.
There are restrictions on visitors, Mr. Morris.
Yes, I know that. I'm aware of that, but I'd like to try and talk some sense into her.
Miss Bennett was attacked last night, apparently in connection with your daughter.
Oh, what happened?
It seems someone was concerned. Tracy might volunteer information?
Yes, well, it would hardly be volunteered, Mrs. Jackson. Miss Bennett was exerting considerable pressure. I saw it myself.
Do you think that warranted a bashing?
Of course not, but perhaps violence breeds violence. Look, I'm sorry, this whole thing, it's beyond me. Still, I suppose it's my fault.
How do you mean?
Oh, the usual thing. Too busy. I gave her a party for her 18th birthday. I stayed for 2 hours. Fitted it in between 2 conferences.
Would you sign in, please?
Perhaps I should have seen more of her friends.
And perhaps not. I brought up a teenager myself. A boy. Oh, he's settled down now. But we had our moments.
So Tracy seems to have put all her moments into one. The QC said she could be in here for considerable time unless I can persuade her to cooperate.
I'll take you to the interview room. Then I'll get Tracy.
How's that? What's your try?
Well, what do you think?
What do you think? All right, let's try inside it. Come on.
You know what?
What?
I wish Mum was here.
Yeah, I was sorry about that.
Mr. Fletcher,
What?
you promise you won't tell anyone.
What about?
Well, I'll let that man put spray stuff in my hair.
Hey, how'd you like to see your mum this hour, eh? Before your hair gets all messed up.
Oh, great.
All right, I'll pick you up after school.
Oh, please, Tracy.
I've told you, Dad. I thought it was gold. It was just a joke.
Well, if it was a joke, why don't you say who it was? I mean, they obviously don't care about you or they wouldn't have set you up.
They didn't set me up.
So you knew what you were doing?
No.
You heard what happened to Miss Bennett.
I heard it on the news.
And did you know about it before that?
No.
Tracy, that shows you what sort of people they are. Now, you could be next. Now, is that it? Are you frightened? Tracy, will you tell the police, please, for me, so you can come home?
I think perhaps the best...
Please, Mrs. Jackson, I wonder if I might have a word with Tracy alone, just for a moment.
It's not possible.
It's nothing to do with the case.
I'm sorry.
Trace, there's something I don't quite understand. Now, it's probably none of my business, but I'd like to know.
What, Dad?
Well, I've been told that there's a woman in here who's a lesbian, and I've heard that...
Who said that?
Is it true?
No, it's not. It was Miss Bennett, wasn't it? Wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Well, she's a liar and she deserves everything she got.
Now, that's enough for today.
Did you hear what she told my father,
Now,
Mrs.
Tracy,
Jackson?
I was
Tell
only...
him it's not true.
You'll have to finish now.
Are you saying it's true, then?
I've personally seen no evidence. Now, that's all I know. Wait here for me, Tracy.
Why would Miss Bennett say a thing like that?
You'd have to ask her.
She must be very vindictive.
She must have had good reason.
But you said in there
that
was
I'd seen no evidence. Now, Mr. Morris, homosexuality does exist in prisons. Miss Bennett must have seen something. She wouldn't have just made it up. Well, perhaps she misunderstood. I don't know.
Well, if there was any doubt, she should have kept her mouth shut, shouldn't she? I'm sorry, Mrs. Jackson. Forgive me.
Would you sign out, please?
Tracy's mother died when she was 12. I'd scarcely been a father, and suddenly I was trying to be a mother, too.
I know, it's difficult.
Yes, I took the obvious way out and hoped to God. Sent her to the best school, gave her everything she wanted. And it didn't fail. She's an intelligent kid. Or at least, I hoped it hadn't.
It hadn't. That's obvious.
Then why can't I get through?
I've no idea.
The QC's hedging his bets. He won't be positive as to whether she'll get off or not. He said it's up to me to get through to her. Well, you'd think with the money I was paying him, he'd give me some suggestion how.
I thought he was here.
Well, he was.
Ta-da!
Oh,
It's a surprise.
oh, it's a lovely surprise.
Well, I've got new shoes,
Oh, new shoes.
new pants,
New pants?
and some spray stuff in my hair because it was windy.
Oh, your hair looks beautiful. But where did you... Oh, Mr. Fletcher, I'll pay you back as soon as I can.
Oh, it's no hurry.
Oh, I will.
Well, suit yourself. He's a great kid, Mrs. Jones. Well, most of the time, anyway.
Well, how'd you go, Mum, with your parole?
Well, I'm here in a couple of days.
Well, can I show you my round?
If you want to.
It might be some time since your mother's been on a bike, Danny.
Oh, we can walk.
Oh, yeah. Even if it takes hours and hours.
Deliver the papers for you, Mrs. J?
No, Lizzie.
Why not?
What's all this about delivering papers? What are you up to?
It just makes me feel useful, and everybody's so grateful.
No, well, I've got letters to deliver today.
Oh, that's all the better. Let me help you deliver them.
No, I'm sorry, Lizzie. I have to do that myself.
Oh, please, Mrs.
No,
J.
Lizzie.
Oh, I'm just a poor old woman, and nobody wants me to feel useful.
For heaven's sake. Just a moment. I think there's a letter for you.
For me?
Here, from Josie and Ellen.
Oh, from America. Well, just let me help you carry them.
Well, don't you want to read your letter?
Oh, I'll read it after I've helped you deliver the papers.
Oh, for God's sake, Lizzie, will you pick them up and bring them in?
Lizzie? Where are you? Lizzie? What the hell are you doing?
I was just looking for the crossword in the papers.
Look at the crossword. Give me those. I've just about had enough of you.
So, have you heard anything about your parole yet?
No, not yet. Oh, Danny was in today. You know, that Mr. Fletcher, he's really nice.
Well, that's one school of thought.
Ah, I've been stupid. When I get out of here, there's not going to be any slip-ups. I'm staying with Danny. I thought about moving interstate. New start, you know? But then there's the question of Danny's school. Not that he's especially keen on it, but he's the sort of kid that sticks at things if you really want him to. You know, I can't get over how he's taken to Mr. Fletcher.
That's terrific. Excuse me a minute, okay?
Yeah.
Kay, is there a dog meeting on in the country tonight?
Looks like it. So what?
Oh, an old friend of mine rang me up last week, Billy Dawson. Said he had a greyhound racing tonight. You mind if I have a look? Thanks. Yeah, there it is, see? Royal Roger. God, I might have a bet for old time's sake, you know?
What makes you think I'd want your business?
Well, suit yourself.
Said it was a sure thing, did he?
Actually, he just mentioned it in passing, so if you're not interested, forget it.
At these odds, it doesn't look like it's got much going for it. All right. Anyone interested in a bet?
No.
Okay, Judy, how much?
Well, at those odds, $10. But if you'll go me a little higher, 80.
80? That's just about everything you've won.
So?
So, if I win, I'm top dog. If I lose, I'm out of business.
That's right.
What have you got against me, Judy?
Me? Nothing. It's just if you want to be top dog, you got to take your chances.
Okay. 10 to 1. I'll tell you what. For $80, I'll give you 12s.
Done.
How can I find somewhere to live?
How do you mean?
Well, when Mum gets out of prison. It's a place for us to live, you know. Oh, I'm not going back to Aunt Sheila's.
Well, I'll help you find a place if you like.
Well, that'd be great. We can't afford much rent, though. Although I won't be at school for much longer.
Well, you better talk to your mother about that.
Why?
Well, she might like you to go right through high school.
But that's how she got in prison, because I was at school.
Well, you better talk to her about it.
Well, what do you think?
Well, it's got nothing to do with me, Danny.
Why?
Look, Danny, I think there's something that we ought to get straight. When your mother gets out of prison, I won't be around.
But she said she liked you today.
Yeah, well, that's not the point. There's a rule, Danny. Ex-prisoners and prison officers, well, they're not allowed to see each other.
Why not?
Well, it's to avoid problems.
What kind of problems?
All kinds of... Look, Danny, I didn't make the rule. I just have to abide by it.
Well, what about me?
Well, what about you?
Oh, I'm not an ex-prisoner.
No, but you're in your mother's custody.
So then I won't be able to see you.
Well, not entirely, I guess, but not very often.
Does, doesn't it?
Look, Danny, you're a big boy now. Hey, I'm going to miss you too, you know. Danny.
I want a cup of coffee now.
Where's the paper?
Oh, over there.
5 and 2.
5 and 2.
What's up, Lizzie?
Eh?
You've hardly said a word all night.
Oh, a letter from Ellen and Josie.
Not bad news.
No. Well, sort of. The treatment's going to take much longer than they thought. It's not that I don't wish them well, but I do miss them.
How long is it likely to take?
Dunno. Maybe a couple of years. Josie's going to be okay, so that's the main thing. Oh, the race's going to start.
At the head of the others is Margot's lad,
the big
followed
one,
by
girls.
Gypsy Princess, Daisy Chain, and Gay Abandon. It's Charlie's uncle still in front, with
Come
Royal
on,
Roger
Roger.
challenging now. It's going to be close, but as they go to the line, Royal Roger gets his
Come
head
on,
in the
Roger.
front. It's Royal Roger from Charlie's uncle.
Well, what do you think of that, then? Now, let's see. $80 at 12 to 1. That's $960 and no cents. Thanks.
You disappeared pretty fast at breakfast.
I had to get on duty.
I suppose you thought it was funny last night.
Of course not. Why should I?
Just as well.
Look, I gotta go.
The book's still operating.
What?
I said the book is still operating.
But they won't bet. Not after last night.
How will they know?
The grapevine.
I'm still in business. I'll pay that bitch back when I've got the money.
Look, it's got nothing to do with me.
Oh, yes, it has, Linda. You're the only person who can get to the other blocks.
I can't. My parole's coming up soon.
I'm telling you, Linda.
Oh, but they won't bet.
If they don't, I'm holding you responsible.
I don't know how they expect me to take time off. No one else puts things away.
Well, good morning, Miss Bennett.
Is it?
It's good to see you feeling better.
No thanks to you.
Anything more to report?
I told you, Inspector. I'm a prison officer, not a member of the police force. Now, has anything further happened about the assault?
We haven't come up with anything yet, if that's what you mean.
As I'd have expected.
Can I see Tracy Morris?
I'll get her.
Could I see you before you go?
Oh, and Inspector, don't forget you haven't signed in yet.
Yes, you're,
Meg Jackson?
Yeah, look, I'd just better sign this, otherwise Happy Jack will have me in solitary.
In a way, this is none of my business, but I thought you should know. I've been present at several interviews between Mr. Morris and his daughter. I'm certain he knows nothing about the heroin smuggling.
Yes, I tend to agree.
But I thought he was the principal suspect.
Well, he was, but we checked him out and he's clean.
Does that mean you're at a dead end?
Sort of, but we've still got Tracy.
Oh, she won't say anything, even to her father.
Well, we're going to try a new approach, new strategy.
Well, Morris, all home comforts. What's wrong? Nervous? If you'd been arrested in Thailand, you'd really have something to be nervous about. Over there, they shoot people who peddle narcotics. They take the problem seriously.
I wasn't peddling narcotics.
Oh, they were for your own use, were they? Now on your feet. Look, don't worry. I've given up trying to help you. Yes, help you, Morris. To stay out of prison. Now, come on. We're going to see Inspector Grace.
Why?
Why don't you ask him?
Please, Miss Bennett, I didn't do anything.
I can't help you anymore.
What happened to you? I had nothing to do with it.
I'll tell you one thing. When you're convicted, you'll probably be sent back to this prison. And I'll be waiting for you.
You're still working in with him, aren't you? You're trying to scare me.
On your way. Well, go on, Morris, hurry.
Oh, good morning, Tracy. Sit down.
Sit down.
Oh, it's all right, Miss Bennett. Well, it's better. I've got some good news for you. I've decided to lift my objection to bail. I thought you'd be pleased.
I am, but why?
Well, all this isn't getting us anywhere, is it? The bail will be substantial. I take it your father does have assets.
Yes.
And he will go bail for you.
Of course he wants me home.
Yeah.
Have you arrested someone?
No, not quite yet, but your friends are getting anxious. I mean, the attack on Miss Bennett proves that. You didn't know about that?
No.
Didn't even know it happened?
No, I heard it on the radio.
You do realise, Tracy, your attitude leaves me no alternative.
To what?
To allowing you bail. However, I only hope your friends see it the same way. You see, in cases like this, when the police agree to bail, it usually means we have the information we want. Now, you can get out of here and you can meet them and you can deny it, but will they believe you? They've got no way of checking it out, have they? We'll do our best to help you, to protect you, but they're desperate people. And you are a principal witness. And your friends would murder you, sweetheart, without turning a hair.
What friends?
What friends? I'm the only friend you've got, Tracy. Now, who are they? Where are they, huh? All right, Miss Bennett. We'll have to leave Tracy to her friends.
Charlie's uncle is out in front, followed by Black Sombrero and Royal Roger. At the head of the others is Margot's lad, followed by Gypsy Princess, Daisy Chain and Gay Abandon. It's Charlie's uncle still in front, with Royal Roger challenging now. It's going to be close, but as they go to the line, Royal Roger gets his head in front. It's Royal Roger from
Lizzie, you read the newspapers, didn't you?
What are you talking about?
You set me up, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
You set me up.
Just bloody take me. Hey! Get off! Oh, quick! I'll get behind the door.
Oh, but listen, they'll find out.
Who else coming up? What about Danny?
But I can't.
They won't touch it, no.
Wordsworth! What the hell's going on in here?